Have you ever felt like life left something out? Like a deeper truth you were meant to remember? That quiet ache in your chest, the sense of something missing, is not your imagination. It is the whisper of a forgotten agreement, a sacred vow made long before your first breath. What if your soul chose this life with complete awareness and intention? What if nothing about your existence is random? Before we begin, if this resonates with your spirit, pause and type "I remember" in the comments. Subscribe for more soul-awakening content, and like this video to help others find their path back. Long before you were born, your soul answered a call that echoed across dimensions. It wasn't a demand. It was a gentle pull from the heart of the universe itself, a soft yet powerful invitation to grow, to experience, to evolve. This is stage 1, the call of the universal consciousness. You were not forced to come here. You chose to. Your soul heard the divine hum of destiny and responded, yes. Even now, that call still lingers in the quietest moments, in the stillness between your thoughts, in the beauty that moves you to tears, in the feeling that you're meant for more. The call is your reminder that you are not just flesh and thoughts. You are an ancient soul, returning for another sacred round in the game of life. Recognizing this is the first step toward remembrance. From that cosmic moment of choice, your journey began. But not recklessly. There was a map, a sacred plan, shaped in realms of light and guided by beings of higher wisdom. Your soul wasn't sent here blindly. It underwent a divine preparation. The first decision was simply to return. But, after that, came deeper work. A process far more intricate than we've ever been taught. According to the ancient manuscript known as the Codex Animae, written over 1,200 years ago, the soul journeys through 7 sacred stages before birth. These stages form the lost map of your soul's divine design. Stages that were hidden for generations to keep humanity asleep. You are about to remember them, one by one. Take 1 minute of pure silence today. No phone, no music, just your breath and your being. Ask yourself, what is my soul trying to tell me? If you accept this soul challenge, type "I hear the call" in the comments. As you listen to this, you're not just learning. You're reawakening. The first stage was the call. Now, we enter stage 2, the life review. Before you even chose your body or your family, your soul was brought to a sacred realm of light, a place beyond human time and judgment. There you revisited every experience of your past lifetimes, not from the outside, but through the eyes and hearts of others. If you caused pain, you felt it. If you healed someone, their joy became yours. This was not punishment, it was clarity, a mirror of truth shown through love. Not to shame you, but to remind you, every action echoes across the universe. Every word, every choice, every silence mattered. This review wasn't just a replay, it was soul-deep preparation for what was to come. Many people live carrying guilt, regret, or a sense of heaviness from past actions. What they don't realize is that their soul has already seen it all, already learned from it. The purpose of the life review isn't to punish, but to transform. When your soul saw its own journey reflected through the hearts of others, it chose to grow, to return and do better, to heal what was wounded. This stage teaches you that no pain is wasted, and no mistake is final. Everything you've lived through, even your deepest regrets, has been woven into your next path, as threads of wisdom. You are not the sum of your errors. You are the one who dared to learn from them. And here's the most empowering truth. You don't have to wait until death to do your review. You can begin in this very life. Ask yourself, what impact have I made? Who have I helped? Who have I hurt? What kind of energy have I added to this world? This is sacred introspection, and with it comes freedom. Because the moment you remember that your soul already faced its past with clarity, you can stop punishing yourself and start creating with intention. This is the threshold of transformation, the place where sorrow becomes insight and pain becomes purpose. The life review doesn't judge it, reveals. Imagine standing in a space of pure light where no voice scolds you, yet everything you've done echoes back with gentle truth. You are shown how your actions rippled through others' lives, where your kindness lifted someone from despair or where a careless word left a scar. Not as punishment, but as a sacred reflection. This is still stage 2, the life review, and it serves one holy purpose: to awaken your empathy at the soul level. You see what was hidden, you feel what you once overlooked, and from that divine honesty, you begin to choose differently. Your soul absorbs this wisdom like a flame drawing heat, and in that light, you prepare for your next incarnation with new resolve and intention. This stage leaves a powerful imprint. It becomes the compass for your return. You begin to see why some challenges seem familiar, because you've seen their roots before. Some people feel instantly close to you or trigger deep reactions in you. It's not random. You may have shared stories in past lives. You may be returning to settle something unfinished, or to elevate a karmic bond into something sacred. With this understanding, the idea of regret transforms into remembrance. That knot in your chest when you think of a mistake, it's your soul nudging you not to repeat the past, not to stay stuck in guilt, but to create something better, richer, cleaner in your next step forward. Bring to mind one past mistake or regret. Now ask, what did my soul learn from this? Write it down. Let it become wisdom, not a attack. If you're ready to turn pain into power, type I forgive and grow. Now, after absorbing the lessons of your past, your soul does not move forward alone. It is called into a radiant space, the next sacred realm, known in the ancient Codex Animae as Stage 3, the Council of Souls. In this realm of shimmering presence and serene light, your soul meets with ancient beings of immense compassion and wisdom. They are not strangers. They are your guides, your soul companions, the timeless ones who have been with you from your earliest incarnations. They welcome you with love, not authority, and together you reflect on what comes next, not from a place of fear, but from divine freedom. They ask you not what must you do, but what do you feel ready to experience. In the Council of Souls, you are not given a destiny, you help create it. Every soul chooses what it wishes to grow through. Perhaps you wish to learn forgiveness, so you choose a life where betrayal will teach you how. Perhaps your soul craves courage, and so you choose a path filled with adversity, where bravery becomes your birthright. Nothing is random. Every detail of your next life, your greatest allies, your deepest challenges, even your enemies, are chosen in harmony with these beings of light. They help you align your evolution with your sacred contract. And the beautiful truth is this: they never leave. Even now, they speak to you in dreams. Symbols, synchronicities. You've never been alone. You've only forgotten how to listen. This stage reminds you that intuition is not a lucky guess. It is a memory trying to rise through the veil. Have you ever had a sudden knowing about a person, a place, a decision? That flash of clarity, that subtle inner yes or no, is often your counsel reaching across time to guide you back into alignment. The Council of Souls isn't locked in the spirit realm. It lives within you. In stillness, you can hear it. In meditation, you can meet it again. In deep prayer or silence, its voice becomes clearer. You don't need to ask the world what you should do. You only need to remember you already asked and already answered in a place of unconditional wisdom. Tonight, before falling asleep, ask this in your heart: Council of Light, what am I meant to remember? Then pay close attention to your dreams. If you're ready to reconnect with divine guidance, type I trust my guides. After your soul sits with the council and reflects on the lessons it longs to master, something sacred unfolds. A moment of stillness arises, a pause before the next commitment. This is the beginning of Stage 4, the choice of life purpose. In this realm of higher knowing, your soul begins to envision not just what it wishes to experience, but what it wants to contribute. You aren't just here to learn. You're here to leave a mark, a vibration, a legacy. The soul begins shaping the purpose it will carry into the next life, a mission written in energy, not words. For some, it may be to heal a lineage. For others, to awaken compassion in the face of hardship. And for some rare souls, it may be to light the way for others. But this purpose doesn't always look like fame or glory. In fact, it rarely does. Some of the most powerful missions are quiet, invisible to the world. A soul may choose to be born into poverty, not as punishment, but to birth strength and empathy. Another may choose to carry physical limitations, knowing it will become a gateway to teaching others resilience and love. Your purpose is never random. It was chosen with intention. The pain you faced may be a mirror to the very thing you came to heal in yourself, and then help others heal in return. Look at the recurring patterns in your life. Look at what breaks your heart and what stirs your spirit. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of your soul's deeper mission. The beauty of this stage is that it's never too late to remember your purpose. Even if you feel lost, even if you've wandered far from the path you once imagined, the flame never dies. It only flickers under the winds of distraction. The key is to pause and listen. Ask yourself, what moves me deeply? What problems do I long to solve? Even if no one ever sees my effort, what would I do if fear no longer ruled me? The answers to these questions are not coming from your mind. They're rising from your soul. That subtle tug on your heart, that longing for more meaning, that's your purpose whispering through the noise. Purpose is not something you stumble upon like a hidden object. It's something you uncover as you strip away what you're not. Every time you stop people-pleasing, chasing empty goals, or avoiding your truth, your purpose becomes clearer, and you don't need to start big. A single act of love, aligned with your soul's mission, can send ripples through generations. The impact you make isn't measured by applause. It's measured by alignment. When you begin to live from your soul's contract, peace returns. Joy deepens. You begin to feel whole. Not because life is easy, but because it finally feels true. Write down 3 things that deeply move you. Things you would do with love, even if no one clapped. One of them is tied to your purpose. If you're ready to realign with your mission, type, I choose my purpose. And now that your purpose is chosen, your mission clarified, your soul must take another step, a deeply intimate one. You must choose the form through which your purpose will manifest in the world. This leads us into Stage 5, the choice of body and family. And though this choice seems simple on the surface, it is among the most profound decisions your soul makes, because it determines the foundation of your earthly journey. Your environment, your vessel, your ancestral energy, the body you inhabit, and the family you are born into are not accidents. They are soul-designed gateways to your mission. It's easy to believe that our birth was random, that we simply showed up in a body and family assigned by fate. But when your soul reached Stage 5, the choice of body and family, everything was intentional. Every detail, your height, your eyes, your health, your voice, even your vulnerabilities, was chosen with divine precision. Your soul reviewed different possibilities of form, gender, ancestral lines, and location, and with complete clarity, it chose what would serve its evolution and purpose best, not what was easiest, not what was prettiest, but what would offer the deepest opportunities for growth. What might seem like imperfection to the human ego is to the soul's sacred design. You did not choose your family for comfort. You chose them for transformation. Sometimes that meant being born into love. Other times into chaos. Perhaps your soul chose a mother who would challenge your self-worth, so that you'd learn to reclaim it. Perhaps your father carried generational pain that you were meant to alchemize into light. This doesn't mean your pain isn't real. It means it has purpose. Your soul did not ask for suffering to be punished. It chose challenges that would forge strength, compassion, and wisdom. When you view your family through this lens, resentment starts to dissolve. You no longer see your childhood as a burden, but as part of a sacred training ground for your awakening. Even your body, its strengths and limits, was selected with love. If your path involved physical illness, your soul knew that endurance would awaken new dimensions of inner power. If your body carried beauty, charm, or charisma, your soul chose it as a tool for influence or creation. If you faced disabilities or pain, it was not a mistake. It was preparation. Many ancient souls carry unique bodies that reflect both their mission and their karma. The truth is, your soul saw your future and said, "Yes, I am strong enough to carry this." This awareness doesn't erase your challenges. It elevates them. It gives you back authorship over your own origin story. When you realize that your environment, your genetics, your birth order, even your birthplace, were not accidents, you reclaim immense power. You stop asking, "Why me?" and begin asking, "What is this trying to shape within me?" This shift awakens gratitude even in hard places, not because the pain was good, but because your soul knew how to turn it into gold. That realization alone can heal lifetimes of victimhood. Suddenly, the scars make sense. The tension becomes sacred. The moments you felt out of place or broken now feel like evidence that you were never meant to blend in, but to break through. This part of the journey is humbling. You start to understand that those who caused you the most pain in this life may have loved you the most before it began. Soul families often agree to play difficult roles in each other's stories, not to hurt, but to wake each other up. That parent, sibling, or partner who triggered you the most may have been your closest spiritual ally in the soul realm. And now, as you begin to remember these hidden truths, your energy shifts. You no longer curse the past. You bless it for shaping the warrior of light you are becoming. And as we move forward, your soul prepares to make its most delicate descent of all, to forget. Reflect on your childhood and ask, what soul lesson might I have chosen through my family? Forgiveness begins with understanding. If you're ready to reclaim the deeper meaning of your life path, type, "I honor my journey." After shaping your mission, choosing your body, and selecting your family, your soul stands at the edge of the great unknown. You are luminous, filled with memory, love, and clarity. And yet, to fully enter the human experience, you must do something almost unimaginable. You must forget. This is stage 6, the Veil of Forgetfulness. It is not a punishment. It is not a flaw in the system. It is a sacred agreement. In order for your journey to be real, your love authentic, your growth earned, the game of life must unfold without remembering every answer beforehand. Like a hero in a story who awakens with amnesia, you chose to live through the discovery, not the certainty of who you are. Imagine passing through a veil, a shimmering mist between dimensions. As you cross it, the memories of your soul's eternal nature begin to fade. You forget your counsel. You forget the contract. You forget why you chose this path. You forget who you truly are. And yet, that deeper truth doesn't disappear. It sleeps. It tucks itself into the folds of your dreams, your instincts, your longings. It speaks in symbols, in feelings you can't explain, in déjà vu that lingers longer than logic allows. The veil is not meant to trap you. It is meant to test you. Can you love when you feel forgotten? Can you trust when you cannot see the plan? Can you rise even when you feel broken? This veil is why so many feel lost, why we question our worth, why we search for purpose, for signs, for something that feels familiar in a world that feels foreign. We were not born broken. We were born under a sacred forgetting. And yet the veil is not perfect. It thins in moments of silence. It opens during deep meditation, when you dream vividly, or when you encounter someone who feels like a soul you've known forever. These are flashes of remembrance, reminders that you are not just flesh and thought, but soul and light. Every intuitive feeling, every sacred coincidence, every time you hear a voice within telling you there is more, that's your soul remembering itself. The greatest act of power is to choose the human experience while knowing it comes with this forgetting. To dive into suffering and still find your way back to love. To face darkness and still seek the light. That is the mark of a soul who truly came to evolve. That is your mark. The veil is not the end. It is the beginning of your transformation. Because from within it, you are called to awaken piece by piece. You are meant to dig, to remember, to reclaim. Your purpose, your guidance, your soul family, all still exist. They are not gone. They are simply waiting for you to quiet the noise and look within. Today, act on one quiet inner nudge. Without hesitation. That whisper might just be your soul trying to break through the veil. If you're ready to remember who you truly are, type "I remember myself." And now, my dear one, we come to the final and most sacred step of this pre-life passage, stage 7, the leap of faith, birth. The moment where you, eternal soul, take the most courageous step of all. You dive into the world of matter and illusion. You take your first breath with no memory, but with the entire plan still encoded in your being. In the final part of this journey, we will uncover how your first cry was actually your soul's first song, and why your life, even in its struggles, is a masterpiece of divine intention. And so, we arrive at the threshold, the most sacred crossing of all. This is stage 7, the leap of faith, birth. After planning your mission, choosing your body and family, and surrendering to the veil of forgetfulness, you take the final divine step. You, an eternal consciousness, dive into physical form. You don't just enter a body, you enter density, limitation, vulnerability, and you do it with no guarantee of remembering anything, no certainty, no clarity, just a quiet inner flame that somehow survives the descent. That spark still glowing within you now is your original yes to life. That cry you made at birth was more than biological. It was the soul breaking through matter, the sacred sound of arrival. You are born into this world, small, delicate, and completely dependent. But within you, the map still exists. The council watches. The purpose lives on. Your body may forget, but your soul never does. In early childhood, this memory lingers like mist. Children speak of invisible friends, past lives, or places they've never visited in this life. But as time passes, the veil thickens. Society begins its work shaping, silencing, and conditioning. The outside world teaches you to value fear, conformity, and control over intuition, truth, and remembrance. And slowly, most people fall asleep. They forget the soul's promise. They stop listening to the ancient voice within. But even then, it only sleeps. It never disappears. Here's the truth. Most were never meant to know. This sacred knowledge was hidden on purpose. Not by accident, not by time, but by systems designed to control. Because a human being who remembers their soul's power cannot be enslaved. A soul who knows it chose its path cannot be manipulated by fear. Governments, institutions, and even religions, many built on guilt and obedience, would collapse if every person woke up to the fact that they are not a victim. They are a co-creator. That's why texts like the Codex Animae were buried, burned, and silenced. Because remembrance is rebellion, awakening is revolution, and a conscious soul is the most powerful force in existence. But here's what they couldn't erase: your ability to remember. The soul's memory is not fully erased. It sleeps, like a seed beneath the soil, waiting for the right light to bloom. You create that light through stillness, through truth, through choosing to ask the deeper questions. Every time you meditate, reflect on your dreams, follow your intuition, or act from love, despite fear, you are tearing the veil, you are waking up, you are remembering. The more you align with your soul's purpose, the louder its voice becomes. The veil thins, the light returns, and the illusions of power that once kept you asleep begin to crumble. Take 3 deep breaths. Close your eyes and say, I chose this life. I chose this mission. I am awake. Say it until you feel it in your bones. Type in the comments, I am awake, if you know you're here for a divine reason. So now, dear soul, you know. You remember the 7 sacred stages, the call of consciousness, the life review, the council of souls, the purpose, the body and family, the veil and the leap. And knowing this, you cannot go back. You are no longer lost. You are no longer waiting to be saved. You are the one you've been waiting for. The seed is awake. The path is alive. The ancient book was never outside of you. It was written in your bones, in your tears, in your longing. And now that you remember, the only thing left to do is to live as the divine being you always were. If this message stirred something ancient within you, type I am ready in the comments. Like this video so others can awaken too, and subscribe for more spiritual revelations that were never meant to stay hidden. The truth is rising, and so are you.